What is up? Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's podcast, I'll be talking about how you can get back in the gym if you've lost that motivation. So it's officially February, and when February hits, a lot of the New Year's resolutioners who set huge goals, maybe overwhelming goals, stop going to the gym because the standards they set for themselves were so big of a change that it was hard for them to stay consistent. So oftentimes, when we have a lot of motivation, we tend to set really large goals or take drastic big steps that are, or maybe even do a whole 180 from our lifestyle. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this, because this is what I notice is what tends to happen in February is like the gyms tend to kind of die down a little bit. There tends to be less people in the gyms, and that motivation that we tend to get on January 1st tends to have fizzled out. But before I dig in, I just wanted to thank you guys for listening. If you've been enjoying the show, if you could rate the show, share the show, subscribe to the podcast, just helps me get in front of more people and helps me help more people, which is the goal of the show. So anyway, yeah, and also some of you might be noticing if you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, are you in a new location? No, I'm not, but I moved my desk around and I finally got that stupid monitor mount or TV mount off my wall, and I hung up a decoration that I've had since college. Yeah, in the house that we purchased, there was like a TV mount in literally every single room. I don't know why. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Like master bedroom, this bedroom, other bedroom, main living space, downstairs bedroom. Like they're everywhere. And these are the mounts that are like screwed into the wall. And so when we removed that one, there was actually like paint and parts of the drywall came off with it. So glad I have this because it covers it all up. But anyway, those of you on audio probably aren't looking at anything, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I now have a beautiful, like the wave Japanese kind of Japan art traditional poster thing is behind me. It's like a fabric poster, and now you can see my office door too. So it's a new scenery. It's kind of exciting. Anyway, back to the topic of the day: how to get back in the gym if you've lost motivation. If you, let's just say in this, I'm going to outline the typical person who tends to struggle with this. And if this is you, if you feel targeted, good, because this is going to be a very helpful episode. So when January hits, super motivated, isn't doing anything right now, but is like, I finally want to lose weight. I want to look awesome, feel awesome, improve my health. And instead of just committing to something reasonable, you're like, I'm going to be in the gym for an hour to 2 hours every day at 5 a.m. in the morning. This is super common. That's why I like January's for us, I guess, consistent gym goers. January is like the most crazy month ever. Say like January and like probably May when summer's coming around and people are like, oh my gosh, I need that summer body in 30 days. Let's go. And it's because a lot of people are motivated and they set big aspirations. They try to do a complete 180 from their current lifestyle. And that's why, and with motivation, when you have that external motivator, that like energy, that excitement, it's a lot easier to start and try to do something like that. And it's like, this is the year. Finally gonna do it. But it's such a drastic change that it makes it hard to stick with and stay consistent. Because like, what if you have a business trip and there's no gym available and you have like 10-hour days? Probably not going to be able to go to the gym for 2 hours. Maybe you're tired from travel. Maybe you have a family vacation. Or maybe some family emergency and you can't make it to the gym. You have to be in the hospital or something. It's like this stuff, like these drastic 180, it's going to be hard to maintain. And then once you fall off of doing that grueling 2-hour gym session, it's going to be hard to go back to because you're like, I feel so much better when I'm not beating my body up. So one, just in general, if you're trying to change your body composition, get healthy, you have to do it from a place of loving yourself. You cannot hate yourself into your dream body. You kind of can, but then you're not going to be able to sustain it because the actions that you took in order to get there, they're not sustainable. And they probably don't make you feel very good. So, anyway. So, if you do things out of trying to care for yourself and love yourself like you would treat your child or maybe your spouse or a very close friend, you're probably going to make better decisions and you're going to prioritize health. You're not going to be trying to punish yourself. That's another thing I've noticed, like a lot of those resolutioners. It's like you're trying to beat yourself up, punish yourself. You need to do it from a place of love. But also, for us, I'm a former athlete. A lot of former athletes are like this. It's a lot more appealing to go from 0 to 100. Because that's like, well, I can just try to do one exercise a day because I'm not doing anything now. But you know what sounds a lot cooler? Trying to do an hour and a half grueling gym session 7 days a week. It does kind of sound cooler, but it won't feel cooler. Your body's going to be run down. Your sleep quality is probably going to decrease. You're probably going to feel like crap. You're not going to be able to maintain it. So, if that was you and that happened and now you're like, I'm done. I don't want to work out anymore. I'm tired. That's okay. What you were doing was unsustainable. But don't stop working out. Just take a different approach because the approach that you did take wasn't great. So, most of my clients work out 2 to 4 times a week. So, keep that in mind. They get great results. I work out 4 times a week. I strength train 4 times a week. I feel like I look pretty decent. So, you don't need to be in the gym every day. If you like to be active every day, that's great. And then set a gym routine. But maybe it's every other day you're lifting weights. And the other days you're doing something fun, or maybe you're doing active recovery. Maybe you're walking on a treadmill. Maybe you're doing some mobility. Maybe you're learning a new thing. Maybe you're into pickleball. And on the off days, you go and you play pickleball for an hour or two. You know, so one thing to keep things consistent is trying to do something that you enjoy. Because when you enjoy exercise, it makes it a lot easier to continue to do. So something I've been integrating back into my routine recently, which I said I was going to go to my alumni game, and I might, but I've been traveling so much, I don't really want to travel anymore. But I started swimming again because I played water polo in college. And while a lot of sports, if you're lifting weights and you're doing some type of zone 2 cardio, you can probably get back into it pretty quick. Water polo is a beast of a sport. So I haven't swam in like almost 2 years. So started swimming again and I love it. It's very enjoyable to me. So it's easy to stay consistent with. I'm definitely not in the shape that I used to be, but I'm getting faster. So it's slow improvement. Anyway, so find something you enjoy. I will die on this hill. Everybody should strength train in some capacity. You don't have to, like me, I love lifting weights. That's part of why I do this for a profession. I love it. I love helping people get strong and move well and improve their health. So strength training, everybody should do some form of it at least once a week. But it doesn't have to be that long. If you want noticeable body composition changes, probably at least twice a week. Compound lifts, maybe a little accessory movement sprinkled in there. But if you're like, I just want to be healthy once a week, great. Body composition changes won't be that drastic, but Hey, that's awesome. I love that. Anyway, everybody should do strength training. But again, once a week. But if there's another activity that you love doing and it helps keep you consistent, then do that. But I will caution what I've noticed, people who are not strong, who aren't fueling properly, that love to do sports or stay active in that way, I've noticed a lot of injuries with friends as they're aging, with just acquaintances I've met trying different hobbies and stuff, because I like to try different sports and things. Like I've tried rock climbing, bouldering, powerlifting, like other little fun things. And what I've noticed is a lot of people who do like, tennis, pickleball, bouldering, running, they don't have a lot of muscle and they don't fuel their bodies properly, like not eating enough protein, not recovering properly, to where they tend to get really injured. So that's my only caution. Make sure your nutrition is dialed into where it can support your body doing those things, and make sure you're recovering adequately, you're sleeping well, and you're doing some form of strength training at least once a week. But so find something you enjoy. And that ties into something else that I wanted to chat about. So met a buddy on Instagram, Taylor. He does listen to this podcast, so shout out to you. He told me, have like your go-to lift. And so for me, it's probably deadlift. I love to deadlift. Even if I'm like not in the mood to lift, going and doing a deadlift session is super fun and it kind of motivates me. So find one exercise that you love to do. It could be shrugs. You could love shrugs. You could love bicep curls. You could love lat pull down. You could love squatting. I don't know why people love that one. It's really hard and not very fun. But, a lot of guys love bench. Bench is their go-to. Maybe overhead press. But have like a go-to lift to where if you're like, I don't even want to go, but I like doing this lift, then just commit to doing that one lift. And then at least you're moving the needle in some fashion. You're getting it and moving your body. And then something that I feel like adults don't often do is have fun. Like maybe you have because with strength training, in order to see progression, it is important to follow some type of a plan or a progression. If you're trying to change your body composition, build muscle, lose body fat, you need to be able to measure that you're getting stronger. You're progressively overloading, right? So if your workouts are always different, it's hard to measure if you're actually making progress. So, one caveat, you should have probably 2 days a week of a structured routine, but maybe it's a third day a week that you just go in and you do fun stuff. Like maybe your gym has like a functional area and you're like, I want to try the battle ropes, do some monkey bars, and try to do a kipping pull-up, which I think anybody who does those are going to dislocate their shoulders. I don't recommend that. I'm trying to think of something weird. Rope climb. Mine has a rope. I can climb the rope. It's pretty fun. So try to have fun with it. Do some weird stuff. Try new movements that you've never tried before. Just have fun. That's going to help you stay consistent, because if you're having fun doing something, you probably want to do it more. Right? So, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about in this episode is oftentimes people set unrealistic expectations or set too large of goals to where it's really hard to achieve them. And if you don't have any semblance of motivation, you're not going to make it to the gym. So this is a very specific example for this. Let's say you stop going to the gym instance. Maybe your workouts are like over an hour long. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to do that. And you think, if I can't do the full workout, there's no point of me going to the gym. This is me. This is something I still struggle with. But you doing something is going to move the needle. So let's say, instead of saying, oh, I can't do the full workout, why go to the gym? Why don't you just try to get that first exercise knocked out and commit to that. Just commit to doing one of the exercises in the workout. And if you have the energy or feel or have the time and ability and effort to do the rest, that's great. But just committing to that one thing and following through on that one thing is going to skyrocket. It's later in the day, so the analogies that I usually don't have are even worse. It's going to spiral, I guess. Skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket into, it's going to cascade into some momentum in that direction. So I have a lot of clients that maybe just do 2 exercises a day. And the workouts are like 15 minutes long. And the cool thing is oftentimes I notice, eventually they're like, I really like this, but I do want to do more now. And I'm like, cool. We're going to switch things up a bit then. And because when you're working out consistently, you're going to feel better. You're probably going to start to see progress in a lot of those lifts that you're doing, the more consistent that you are. And it's kind of a lot of fun. If you're like progressing, you're getting stronger, it makes it more fun to continue to do those exercises too. So point being is commit to something small. And if you follow through on that and you don't over exceed your expectations, you're still going to move the needle. It's going to help you build momentum. And sometimes you might over exceed your expectations and do more than you planned on. And that's also going to lead to more positive momentum. So, point being, if you're struggling to get back in the gym right now because you overcommitted, you got burnt out, that's okay. Start small. Maybe you're not working out anymore at all. Maybe pick one day a week. Say, I'm going to go to the gym, and maybe you're not even working out. Maybe you're just driving to the gym. That might sound really silly, but I know I have a lot of friends and there's a lot of people that I know that were struggling to get to the gym, and they just committed to driving to the gym for a week. Every day, same time, they drove to the gym, and eventually one day they're like, well, I'm here, I might as well just go in, right? So maybe you're just committing to drive to the gym once a week. Maybe you're like, okay, I can go work out once a week. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to commit to one exercise one time a week. Commit to that. Show up. Do the one exercise, and then watch it spiral. Watch that momentum build. And then if you're like, okay, I can make it to the gym, but it's super boring, then have fun with it. Mix it up. Pick an activity you love doing. So 2 takeaways. It doesn't have to be optimal to move the needle. And that's part of something I struggle with because I want to give my clients the best results. So I'm going to write a program that is the most optimal for them. But sometimes we have to make adjustments to that program because they're like, look, it's not working right now with their lifestyle. And they need to shift gears. Maybe they need to work out less. Maybe they need to work out less times a week. Maybe they can't do the sessions the way they're programmed and we have to pivot. That's okay. Because what's optimal is what you're going to do consistently. So shifting the framework of optimal to will help you get back in the gym. So if you can find an activity that you love doing that's going to keep you active, do that. Just make sure there's one strength training day in a week. And if you're like, strength training is boring, well then make it fun. Try weird exercises. Look up old time strength lifts. I tried hack squats the other day. It's really weird. Look it up. Hack squats with a barbell, not the machine. And my hamstrings have been sore. I might have done them wrong. But look up, try different exercises. Make it fun. Make it exciting. That's going to keep you consistent. That's going to help you build momentum and help you get to the gym. So anyway, hopefully this episode was helpful. Hopefully it sparked that motivation or that interest in you to get back in the gym. And if it did, if you could share the show with somebody you know struggling with this, rate the show. or subscribe. That just helps me get in front of more people and helps me help more people. So anyway, thank you for listening to this episode. Hope everybody has a great week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.